So our next speaker, she is the Chief Solutions Officer at ChromaWay. I'd like to welcome Zara. Zara, I will give you the floor. It's all yours.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi, I'm really happy to be here. And thank you, Luca. It was great listening to you. I would also start with the word uncertain, and I would continue to crypto, uncertain crypto, and blockchain. I think we need to separate crypto and blockchain here from each other. And I'm going to answer the question shortly first and then get deeper into it. Is crypto uncertain or mysterious? Crypto is probably uncertain, but is it mysterious? Pretty much not. Is blockchain mysterious and uncertain? Blockchain is a technology. Blockchain is not mysterious, is not uncertain, because it's pretty straightforward. It's a technology, but it is mysterious because a lot of people don't really dig deep into it to learn it, because it always is attached to crypto. So I think the first thing we need to understand and to practice is to separate the technology from an application of it, right? Cryptocurrencies are just one application of the technology blockchain. And the technology can be immature, but it can't be uncertain, right? It evolves over the time. And I want to continue on the discussion of Web 2 and Web 3 that Luca started, and go to centralization versus decentralization. A lot of us, and when I say us, I mean blockchain advocates, or thought leaders, or people who have been in blockchain space for a long time, by default we always promote decentralization. But the fact is, decentralization is also not the answer to a lot of problems that we have today. Human being society have been decentralized in the past, in the history, fully decentralized, and eventually became centralized as the agrarian time came, agriculture came to the picture, and populations lived around each other, and the population grew in certain geographical regions. And that also failed. So pure decentralization failed in the past, and then pure centralization failed in the past. And now we are reaching a point that we need to find that perfect balance, perfect recipe. What is the perfect balance of centralization and decentralization, right? And find the right applications of a technology that is going to enable decentralization, which is blockchain here in this case. And that is exactly what Web3 is going to allow us, right? Web3 is going to empower decentralization. Web3 is going to allow us, enable us to build decentralized communities, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be fully decentralized. You can have progressive decentralization through Web3 and find that perfect balance that works. And then, and that means basically in Web 2, you have network and platforms that are owning your data, as Luca mentioned. And as we move towards Web 3, is individuals, entities that are owning their data. And that's a decentralization of the ownership. And that means we are moving from platform economy to ownership economy, to individual economy. And that means we are actually moving from Web 2, which is a lot of focus around communities, to Web3 that is a lot of focus on individuals, right? And we should be very careful not to confuse this with Web3 being community driven. So Web3 is very community driven. Web3, which is the internet based on blockchain, decentralized internet based on blockchain, is very community driven. Web3 is driven by communities, but it's very individually focused. Means it's driven by communities, but empowering individuals. Whereas in Web2 is the opposite, right? It's focused on communities and it's driven by individuals. We all in Web2, we exchange our personal data for free access to services for platforms. We use social media for free, but we think it's for free, but in exchange, we're giving our personal data. So it's individually driven for a community focus network. And for having said that, that means we are moving from a Web 2 that is a lot of focus on information and people to Web 3 that is information, people, and value. And that value includes money. And that means Web 3, with Web 3, we are building a token based economy, a token based economy that is going to allow us now to monetize all the open source protocols that are collectively owned, which we couldn't do in Web 1 and Web 2. And now in Web 3, the token based economy, which comes with the crypto, is going to allow us to monetize that, allow us to create value. And a lot of people call Web 3 or blockchain the network of value exchange, but we rarely really hear an explanation of what does that even mean. What does it mean, value exchange? And I just want to give some very quick examples of what that means. Let's say you are a fan of Adidas brand, and your whole life you buy Adidas, and you help this brand grow and grow and grow in today's world, right? You are helping because you're a loyal customer. You're buying this all the time, and Adidas grows and grows to be a bigger and bigger brand. Will Adidas ever come back to you today saying, "Thank you, this is your share. Thank you for making my brand grow bigger and bigger. Thank you for being loyal, and this is your share for being loyal and actually contributing to the growth of this brand"? No, right? And but in Web3, with collectively owned or community-based brands or community-owned brands through DAOs, that is exactly what is going to change, right? You are, as the end user, going to be going to be involved in this shared economy. You're going to receive the economy that you caused it. That it was because of you. It grew because of you. So you're going to be part of it. So that's one example of what it means exchanging value. So you created a value, and now you can actually translate that value to money for yourself. Another example is your healthcare data. Today, I'm connecting from Sweden, and Sweden is one of the most digitalized healthcare systems globally. And but who owns my healthcare data? I don't own my healthcare data. My healthcare data is stored on centralized databases that are basically in control and in hands of special organizations that they actually run a lot of economy behind the scene that we are not aware of it and we're not part of it. They create anonymous data packages. These anonymous data packages are sold to governments, to research centers, and all of this the healthcare research, they're all coming from your data, my data. But are we part of that economy today? We're not. We're not part of that economy, right? So that is another example of why you need to be part of this shared economy and what it means to exchange value. And one last example of everyday's life is, let's say, again, now Adidas is going to probably definitely get back to us after this webinar, is let's say you go to Adidas store again, you buy a shirt, and you get a card, like a loyalty. You have a loyalty program with them, and you get, next time if you come back in a month and have a second purchase, you will get 30% discount. This is something that we all face on our everyday life, right? There's millions of loyalty programs and campaigns in different brands, different organizations that they want to bring customer back, right? And statistics and research shows that 67% of these points, these loyalty points, are gone to waste because people do not go back to that store because you don't need that anymore, right? But you spent money to actually create that value for self. So you spend money and you created that value, which is that special token or voucher or discount that you're going to get. But you're not going to use that value in Web 2. You won't be able to use that. But if that was a token based value, you could exchange it. You could exchange that to another value. Could be a supermarket voucher. Could be, you could exchange, you could sell it to someone else, right? So, and that is again another Web3 token based value creation or value exchange that we're talking about here. And of course, this definitely means a lot of education, definitely means a lot of understanding. One of the as Luca mentioned here, is blockchain, the question that Luca raised in one of the slides is blockchain dead? I mean, look at who is the end users, or who are the end users and audience of these technologies. It's not you, it's not me. We are here to create awareness. We are here to build only the first use cases. It's our children. We are not going to be the real users of this technology. We are going to be known in history as the crazy ones who actually started talking about it. But it's actually our children who are going to be using this. And if any of you have a children of around 10, 11, 12 years old, look at how they live. Look at what they talk about. Look at what they are looking for, right? Another brand probably that will come back to us after this webinar is Roblox. If any of you have a children that or have a child that is actually playing Roblox, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I have one. I have a daughter that is 10-year-old and is addicted to Roblox, I would say, and she plays a lot. And sometimes she plays. She sometimes I hear that she says she's talking to a friend saying, "Oh, tonight I have to work night shift on pizza delivery because I need more Robux," right? And this is quite interesting for me that a 10-year-old understands that in a virtual life she needs to add some value, to gain some value, to exchange it with another value, right? And then on the other hand, she also constantly complains about not being able to actually transact these ultra legendary pets that she gets on Roblox with the price that she wishes for, right? And when I was talking to her that if Roblox server goes down, all of your pets are gone, then she started panicking. So these are all, and this generation is a generation that is already living in a virtual world. We don't have to explain to them. We don't even have to convince them to be there. They're already living it. They already understand what they want. They already want the ownership. They already want this decentralization. So regardless of what you and I and people of our generation think, this technology is going to go further and further because the customer wants it, the consumer wants it, the end user wants it. The push is coming from the market. The push is not coming from blockchain advocates like us. Of course, we do a lot of work, right? So, and then there is a lot of other things. We need to understand that when we're talking about blockchain, we are not talking about only Bitcoin. We're not only talking about cryptocurrencies. We are the reason why I myself started working with blockchain. I started working with blockchain since 2015. It was not cryptocurrencies. Of course, cryptocurrencies were attractive for everyone, but the reason I stepped into the world of blockchain was because I had a dream of making a fairer world, right? Make the world a fairer place. Because I originally come from Iran, a more challenged country, that I wished that there were the influence or the wealth or the opportunities were equally distributed to people of that country too. So that was super attractive for me, that now this technology is going to allow us to build a fairer world, more opportunities, equal opportunities for everyone. And that is super attractive. And that is, for example, something that we are focusing a lot on building with Neoki, which is a startup that I co-founded together with Hamid. And we are in Neoki, for example. Neoki is a democratized world of design. We are enabling designers, we are enabling brands. Maybe I can actually, although I thought I won't be sharing any slides, maybe I can actually see if I can share something about Neoki, because I think it would be very interesting for everyone to see what is happening in Neoki. Perfect. Okay, so what is Neoki? Neoki is actually a multi-metaverse project that is enabling every individual to create their own verse. And that verse means your own world. You just create your own world with your own creativity. And then again, we are using a lot of what we just talked about. We are promoting a lot of these values, democratization. And what does that mean today in the world of design? Let's take an example of the fashion industry. We see a lot of influence centralization to few premium designers. If you're geographically located to have access to brands, then you have opportunity. So there is a problem with accessibility. There is a problem with centralization and lack of democracy in the world of design. And the younger artists, if let's say a young, brilliant fashion designer from Kenya will never have the opportunity to access Louis Vuitton, even if super talented artist, right? So or creativity, because this world is not connected. There's a lot of intermediaries involved. And then of course monetizations. Artists today have a lot of challenge with monetizing their work. And all of these are actually going to be taken care of by all the concepts that we talked about. DAO, as Luca mentioned, decentralized autonomous organizations, enabling brands and designers to basically create and build communities, that these communities are going to offer designs to the brands, vote on the upcoming designs, and be part of the economy that that design is creating. Means once their voted designs are sold, they will receive a share of that sale. So they're more connected to brands. There is more connection between fans and customers to brands, but also this will minimize overproduction. This will be a huge support for sustainability and climate change. And then, of course, a lot of what we called token economy in Web3, design to earn. Artists will be able to earn every time they mint an art. Artists will be able to create their own verses. Artists will be able to even earn through collaborating. And these are all looking at the gaps that we have in the world, which is the gap between Web 2 and Web 3, which we were talking about it through today. Proof of ownership, which is almost impossible in the world of Web 2. And in the world of Web 3, this ownership is recorded on an immutable, irreversible ledger, which is the blockchain. So you can always prove that you are the owner of this art. And then, of course, accessibility, limited revenue funnels, lack of transparency, which we have a lot through centralization today in the world of Web 2, and overproduction, and make the world a fair place. And I think what I want to focus here is what we need to think of when we think of blockchain. I'm just going to stop sharing here first. Okay. Yeah. What I want to mention here is when we talk about blockchain, we need to understand that it's not only cryptocurrencies. We need to understand the values that this technology is going to bring to us. We need to understand the freedom that this technology is going to give us. We need to understand that this technology is going to actually give power back to public. This is what we need to understand. And is this dead? Do you not want power back to your hands? If you still want to have a control of your life, then this technology is not dead. If you say, okay, no, thank you, I don't want to have control of my life, and you can have control of my data and my life, then yes, we can say that this technology is dead. Otherwise, this technology is just starting. So that was it from me. Thank you, everyone.